All right, welcome back to the All Pro series. We're continuing on to the offensive line. Today we're doing the Philadelphia Eagles. Really Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata, who are both second team, I believe, All Pro tackles. And so with the offensive line, if they're together, I'm gonna just do it at the same time. There's no point in doing separate videos. And for the offensive line, I'm going to look at third down touchdowns, and then we're going to look at rushing touchdowns 10 or more yards. So that's what we'll be looking at. All right, so we'll get this started. We'll watch the sideline view, just kind of let it play through, and then we'll focus mostly on the red zone view, or I keep saying that, the end zone view. All right, so it's a touchdown to A.J. Brown. Looks like it was man coverage, and there was a blitz. All right, now getting to the end zone view. Make sure I slow it down so we can see. In this particular play, Jordan and Lane are both in. And so it's looking like a potential 5-man pressure. Yep, end up being a 5-man pressure. Hurts doesn't get touched, is able to throw. All right, so let's just kind of go across, see what Jordan does on this. Really, first of all, just look how much ground he gains out of his stance. So he's gonna kick slide, covers a lot of space. So you already flatten the angle off a lot. Now, let me go back again. You see him keeping his inside hand posted. We got SIF protection, whatever you want to call it. So he's making sure if there's a stunt, he'll pick up that guy, but he's make sure he gives help on the inside. But he's still moving to flatten off this angle. Now, he made the angle wider for the edge rusher, and the edge rusher still beats him there, but he's still able to make contact. And look, so what you see right now, it's good technique, but it's speed and power. For those that don't know, former rugby player, I also play rugby, and we talk about that all day. There's a lot of explosion in a big man. So we see the feet to set it, recover, get the angle, and just one punch sends this man flying. Now, the pass is getting ready to be thrown, but even if this pass needed another second, he's going to be clean because just with the punch he delivers, he's able to throw the defender off. All right, so real quick, we'll go back. Lane Johnson on the other side facing Myles Garrett, and they just had the Eagles-Browns joint practice, so a lot of that footage is going around. So Garrett darts inside. I don't know if this was supposed to be a stunt or what, but he darts. He takes the inside. Again, back then, posting, giving some help. Not as probably good as it should be, but that's fine. So you see how Lane anchors. He sees Myles coming in, anchors down, dips his hips so that he could change direction with his feet. Now he redirects inside with this block. I mean, he's got help now. And so now at this point, you both just got to hold your space, your half of the person. Easy peasy. No chance to get to Jalen on that one. Actually, I'll let this play through. It's a little sped up, but so it looks like empty set. I think this is the Jags. Yeah, this is the Jags. So remember, these are all third down. What a catch. That was crazy. All right, so crazy catch by Devontae Smith. Again, clean pocket. Nothing that Jalen has to worry about in terms of that. All right, so I didn't look. Might have been a 4-man rush. All right, so now they got an empty, they call it chips or whatever, but you got 2 chippers on the edge that release later. So that slows up the pass rush. And actually, now I'm realizing Jordan's not in for this one. But so we'll focus on Lane. I mean, Walker kind of stops. So he rushes late, but he wasn't going to do anything. So not much there. That one was more so the defense didn't really rush anybody. So again, we'll let it play through. They're in the white zone, very close to the end zone against Dallas. A lot of time. So that's the second play touchdown. So we'll see. Obviously, the offensive line has to hold up a lot longer in those cases. So we'll see how that looks. Once again, Jordan's out, but Lane is in. So we'll focus over on the right side. And he's going against Micah Parsons. So this is just, I ain't even, I don't watch these before. So this is perfect because of all the Micah Parsons discussion I've had in the last few weeks. So we will, matter of fact, I'm going to slow it down even more. We will get a good chance to see Micah against an All-Pro. Quite in 99 club, quite possibly one of the best tackles in the league, or the best tackle, my bad. All right, so we see four-man rush. Lane actually goes after Micah in that in this rep. I mean, that's neutralized. So what happens? Because let's just go through it. So he actually steps to Micah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I know what people gonna say, but I'm gonna be honest with you. That to me has to be an adjustment for Micah, because pass pro, you're not gonna do that. They didn't play action or anything. Nobody else takes an aggressive step. He takes an aggressive step to Micah. So it seems to me like he wants to get hands on him. He wants to get physical with him because he thinks he's not going to be able to handle it. So he attacks him because that's really almost a kick out block. Like that could have been a run play type block. Anyway, so Micah readjusts. And Lane, now this is where I think some people will be like, oh, he's holding. So you got to be within the frame. And what that means is, so if Lane stays here, because you could be like, oh, that's holding. If Lane just stays there, that's holding. But you'll see what happens. And I've seen so far in Lane Johnson's film, that's better than anybody, not anybody, but most of the people I see. I complain about this all the time. A lot of linemen stop their feet on contact, and I just never understand it because they have the athleticism to be better. You have to readjust and get back into the frame and fit the block. So Lane, as you're gonna see, he moves his feet, moves his hip. Now he's back in frame. So if that would have continued, yeah, I would say that was a hold. But he gets back in frame, it's no longer a hold. He's right in the frame of the defender. And now he's mirroring him. And that's what it is. He made the pass rusher give up. All right. Next. Once again, white zone. This is against the Panthers. Looks like we got both tackles this time. So again, we got an extended play here. So we'll check out the end zone view and kind of get an idea of what the two tackles did. The Panthers, one of the worst pass rushes in the league last year, I believe. All right, so we'll start to the left side. Again, playing, that SIF protection. You got inside, outside. Jordan's making sure nothing's stunting. Stays balanced this time. He doesn't kick slide because he doesn't believe that guy has the speed to threaten the edge or is supposed to be a quick pass. So he stays square, able to just go man up with him. Good inside position, or at least his inside hand is right there on the sternum. He does have another hand on the outside, but good position. Now, I think they list him at 6'8". I'm not sure how tall he really is. Maybe he is in cleats. But so he's already tall, so it's going to be hard to get leverage, but you see he's playing with good bend. And he's just got, I mean, that's strength. That's lower body strength right there. Obviously, that guy had really no pass rush for him. Yeah, we don't got to continue to break that down. So we'll go over to Lane's side. So it looks like they actually rushed 5. So you had a tight end there, again, to give that little bit of delay on the edge. Lane, again, ready for the inside help, also the outside. Punches, gives his inside help. Feet, he's cutting off that angle with his kick slide. All right, so now bull rush, engage. Now, I like to see his hands started wide, but look where they end up. His hands are inside the frame. All the way inside the frame. For the at least that inside hand, so now he's able to control him. I mean, just power. And you know what's so funny is that obviously everybody knows Jordan was a former rugby player project, but Lane Johnson was a former quarterback turned tight end turned tackle. Like, he also was more of a project as well. All right, anyway, so Pittsburgh Steelers, high white zone again. A little bit of a quick pass. Touchdown. So let's see. I wonder. Nope. I was going to see if I could bring up the speed from there. All right, so let's see from the end zone view. Let's start over here with Jordan. He's got Highsmith, and then Watt is on the other side. So again, more of a quick pass, but it wasn't super quick, so he had to buy him a little time. All right, so they get a 5-man blitz. Jordan looks like he's solo, or nope, 6-man. We got a delayed blitz. I mean, on that one, and again, I always tell y'all, it's not highlights. Like, I'm going to pull up the situation, but they're not guaranteed to do great. So I don't think this was bad by Jordan at all. He makes the contact. That's a quick pass. Now, I would imagine once he starts to move inside, that maybe he's supposed to redirect his attention. But either way, the quarterback knows if it's going to be somebody unblocked, the O-line's job is to make it the most outside defender. And so, you know, you just got to be hot. And that is what that is. So Jordan didn't have to do much there. All right, so next we'll look at Lane. He's got a tight end again, just making it a little harder for that edge rusher. So again, obviously he has to start out wide, which gives Lane more time, and Lane is pretty athletic. So now he's just matching. I mean, he already flattened that angle off really well. And so now he's just ready for the contact. So they get to the contact. I mean, TJ leans and gets under him pretty well. I mean, TJ beats him, honestly. I mean, eventually, but it's a quick throw. It's a quick throw. By the time TJ's even getting there, I mean, the pass is already gone. So, you know, I wouldn't say they, you know, were all-stars in that play, but they didn't really have to be. All right, high white zone again against the Commanders. Looks like both tackles are on the field. All right, we got a quick little, I won't say pick play, but just kind of one of those plays where you're trying to clear something out to get AJ underneath. But either way, Commanders, I don't think they were a great pass rush by the numbers this year. They do a lot of stun, and that's what we're going to see. So we'll start with Jordan. And again, same thing we've seen before. working that inside hand. He already saw the defender start to go inside. So now, so this is actually, not standard. A lot of linemen aren't good at this, but this is why they're all pros. This is just smart. Look, he sees that as soon as he sees him stun in, his head turns where? Inside, because he is ready for something to twist back outside. So then he cuts off the space too. So now even if someone's stunned, they're not coming around this corner. And obviously that guy never even made his way to the stunt. That was nice by Jordan. That was a heads up play. And also I just realized that's Kenny Pickett. All right, so on the other side, we got Lane Johnson. See what he gets. Gets a stunt as well. He's mirroring that guy, so the stunt takes him inside. I mean, that's just a terribly executed stunt by the Commanders. Not much that the Eagles had to do. But again, as you see, just good fundamentals by Lane and Jordan. Like, just well coached, man. And when you watch stuff like this, it makes it harder to watch these other guys because it's like, bro, why don't y'all do this? It's so frustrating as a coach too. Like, I mean, with younger players like high school, whatever, even some college, you kind of give them a leeway, but even then it's like, bro, it's not rocket science. But either way, to make your mind and body link up is sometimes pretty hard. So against the Cowboys, threw a touchdown, looked like it was man coverage. Obviously, we got 6 guys on the line, so let's see what we got. Looks like they bring 6. All right, so we'll watch Jordan first. All right, so let's see. You're going to see that inside hand post again. Everybody's using their width to make sure that they're not losing anybody on the stunts. Now this, I feel like he could have gave some more depth to the pocket with his kick slide, but that's fine. He's stepping out towards the defender. Now the defender has the slightest bit. See right here, it's kind of like when you talk about corners and receivers. If he's even, he's leaving. Especially if a guy's fast. Once he's even with you, like he's a step ahead. So now he's got the little bit of the edge. Really, if this was a good pass rusher, you lean on this edge, you rip and lean, that's a sack. But he doesn't, or he does go to rip and lean a little late. But Jordan, and he's not able to lean enough to get underneath the block. And Jordan's playing with good leverage again for his size, sinks the hips, and now he's making contact. So his job is to exactly get him right off that spot. So he gives him a punch, tries to get him off the hoop, which he does, knocks him a step off the hoop, and that allows Pickett to then redirect to a clean pocket, make a throw. Man, when I tell y'all, people get mad when I say it. I don't know why. Football's a game of seconds and inches. It is. That one little push, that's the difference in a sack and a touchdown. Or at least the opportunity to throw this, which ended in a touchdown. All right, other side, we got Lane Johnson and Micah Parsons. I mean, yeah, there's not there's not a lot going on. So similar to last time, well, not actually at all, because this time he's kick sliding, playing in space, so he's letting Micah rush. But again, cutting off that angle, you want to make that hoop as wide as possible for the defender. So cutting off that angle, making sure that Micah has to go wider. I don't know, Micah went speed to power. I don't know if this was supposed to be a stunt or what, but Micah goes speed, then he goes bull rush into Lane, and yeah, you're not beating Lane on that, not Micah Parsons. Good hands, good anchor, great lower body strength. Easy peasy. I mean, the defenders do run into each other, which also makes it easier for the line. All right, Cowboys again. All right, now we got Tanner McKee. I remember this game. Cuddy. That's crazy. I mean, I know people are like only really talking about Cowboys right now in terms of like the drama, which is rightfully so. But if you were even thinking about a Cowboys like we're going to be great this year, hype train, you watch. I forgot about this. You played the Eagles with a second and third string quarterback throwing touchdowns on you. All right. So anyway, Jordan, he's got Micah now. Let's see what we get. So one-on-one rush. All right. Clean, well, mostly clean pocket. A bit of a quicker throw. So with Jordan, you want to see again, great kick step, kick slide, whatever you want to call it. Gets so much depth. And again, so I don't know if people are seeing this, but hopefully you do. So, you know, if you're even, the path to the quarterback is right here. That's the hoop. So now when you get a good kick slide, now the hoop becomes wider. That's what you want. That's why we call it a pocket. You create more of the pocket. So with that step, the hoop went from here to all the way now out here. So now you're in good position. Okay, if you want to go through me, then you know we got to play bully ball. If you want to go inside, I got to be ready for that counter. But if you want to go outside, you got to take the long way. So Micah, he goes to the hoop, tries to give him a little shake and get to the rip. Doesn't quite get there off the move, but even when he does, I mean, the path is so wide, he's not really on the quarterback. And then the tackle's job is just to run you upfield, and that's what Jordan does. Stays on him. And, I mean, they brought in an extra guy to kind of help, but didn't really need it. Jordan was able to handle him pretty well. All right, so the other side, we'll look at Lane Johnson. Similar. Not as much of a pocket, but still similar. This guy wants to go through Lane. Again, I don't know why. Good hand placement. Because Lane is like 6'7", 6'8", something like that too. So you see the leverage these guys play with. That's not normal, obviously. Most of these guys that are at height can't bend like that. And so you see how low he is now. Obviously, these guys are going to be lower because they're shorter. But the leverage to play like that when you're that tall, that's what allows you. Quick feet. Obviously, you just got to be strong, you know, lower body, upper body. But quick feet to mirror the defender, but then the leverage to get to try. Because if you don't have balance, if you don't have core strength, if you can't bend, he's going to pull Lane. He's going to try to pull him. He grabs the top of his shoulder pads, tries to pull him. Lane has complete balance to stay within the block and completely locks him out. And first of all, if your tackles meet behind the quarterback, they did a good job. Look at this. 2 All-Pros meeting in the backfield. That's the pocket you want. All right, moving on to the next play. Oh, that might have been the last one. So we're going to go to the runs. That took a little longer than I thought, but that's okay. It's two All-Pros here. That's not what I meant. Okay. All right, so this is this is 11 yards, so not super far, but 10 plus yards. So we'll move to the end zone view. All right, let's see what these guys do. Looks like an inside zone to me. Let's start with Jordan. Jordan's on this side. So they're running a weak zone away from the double tight end look. So obviously you got 2 tight ends, so Jordan's going to step inside. Really the next defender for him would be here, so it's probably going to be a zone combo. Actually they might oh yeah, no, they left that, so it's zone combo here. So he's stepping, overtaking there. So that's easy work. He's gonna, I believe that's Dickerson. He's gonna step with him. They work on this one person. Jordan almost pushes Dickerson out the way. He overtakes that block and then seals him off. Now that is top shelf O-line play. Seals him off so that he can put his butt to the play, letting the running back know that's an open lane. Now what should have happened here, because Dickerson's falls, which again I think he kind of pushed him out the way. They're supposed to zone combo here. Dickerson falls so the linebacker's open, but then Saquon does his job there. Alright, so let's look at Lane. He's one-on-one on the island out here. And he really gives it like a short pass set, which I would do almost all the time, if not a full pass set, because that's going to get the defender to try to come upfield, which he does. Rashawn Gary redirects and tries to set the edge, but you know he's pretty much out of this play for right now. And Lane just again keeps his butt to the play. All right, next. I knew I was gonna do that. Looks like the next one is the Saints for 65 yards. All right, let's check it out. Saquon Barkley. Part of me feels like he really could have won the MVP this year, but you know. Anyway. All right, Lane's not on the field for this one, so we'll check out Jordan. Chase Young, man, y'all, if people that are all into those advanced stats, Chase had a really good year. Anyway, there's a run play. So, all right, they got some type of stunt going on because you see everybody or a couple of them collapse down. We got a linebacker coming over, scraping over the top. So, Chase reduces down. And again, as we talked about with the pass rush, even though it's a run play, okay, he was probably supposed to kick him out, but he goes inside. So let me help with the redirection, but let me keep my eyes for the next guy. Able to seal him easy. Now, to me, for the most part, sealing a DN, especially if you're all-pro tackle, it's pretty easy. Like the kick-out block, that's probably one of the easier ones. But when it gets replaced with a linebacker, that should be easy all day. You better make that. But just smart. I mean, because he could have just got washed up, stopped his feet, stayed here. He's wide open. We don't know what happens, but just knowing your assignment, like the guy moves, so now you got a new assignment. I still got the kick out block. Runs his feet. Look at him. Look at the knees driving. Puts his butt to the play again. Let me know there's a lane. That's easy. And just shy, I know this is not about the other players, but who is that? Jurgens. Shout out to him. Look at Jurgens. Watch this. Not only does he does his job, but he goes and gets in the way of the second linebacker for 2 for 1, and that really springs it and allows Saquon to go crazy. All right, next play. The Jags. This one is 19 yards. Love those Kelly green uniforms. Saquon just gone. All right, looks like Jordan's not on this one, so we'll just focus on Lane. Just back and forth. So this is a draw play, so that's pretty easy for the tackles. Once again, kick slide, get the defender upfield. Now Trayvon, he's more of a power run through you guy. So he's not going to go super far upfield, but in this case, you don't need him to go that far. And look at the feet, look at the hip, man. Watch Lane Johnson. Watch him flip his hips. This is like a DN right here. Flips his hips, turns you. Even if you redirect it, he's got his butt to the play. He could block you out. And that's honestly where the play ends up hitting. All right, next one. 18 yards. This Jags again. Out of an empty set. All right, so it's Jalen. Wide open. So let's see what Lane does on here. It's moving quick. I'm assuming it's a... Nah, it's not an option. I think this is just a straight up run play. Anyway. Wait, sorry. Hold on. I'm over here trying to figure out what the play is. Let's just watch Lane. Let's see what Lane does. Looks like he goes inside because we got a counter coming. All right, so when it's a counter, you're just going to block down. So the next man for him will be 93. And you can see their stance, their splits, my bad, is really close to each other. They're not usually that close. That's, again, changing the splits. That's just, you know, good coaching for the run game. All right, so he's going to step down on 93. Keeps his head where it's supposed to be. Pushes him down. Clears that up. Obviously, everybody's looking at the action. Easy peasy. That play, low-key, was just really schemed. Who is 74? Never mind, I ain't even gonna... It's not even important. All right. Commanders. 23-yard touchdown. If you didn't see those receivers running the corners off, a big part of the run game that most fans don't consider is what you do with your receivers is very important. All right, so we got a tight end here, or actually, let's look at Jordan. Looks like Jordan is backside. All right, so yeah, this is a zone split. So he's stepping down to the next person, which would be here. Now, let me see. Now, this is big credit to Landon here, because Landon's going to chip this guy, because I don't really think Jordan was moving quick enough to catch him. Because really, if Landon does nothing, this guy, I don't think he makes the play, but he has an angle on Jordan, which obviously in zone is what you taught to do, especially he doesn't have an immediate threat. So he, because look, if Landon just takes off to Wagner and leaves this guy, that play could possibly get blown up. So you want to take care of the inside threat first, even though he's slowing down and stepping back. Gives him a chip, redirects, and tries to get here. But anyway, Jordan's able to pick him up again, enough in his way enough to put his butt to the play. His job is done. All right, Lane got a tight end to his side. He's got the kick out block. Tight end's going backside. That's the split. And Armstrong tries to go upfield, and Lane just assists him. Even now, yeah, that's just not a good. The defender, that's not smart. Because look at Lane is stepping towards you. He's not in pass set. So if he's stepping towards me, you need to set the edge. He's trying to pass rush upfield. I mean, he gets a good move on him, but it doesn't matter. Lane's just trying to get him out the way, so Lane pushes him. Just smart plays, man. Smart plays. It is so refreshing to watch. All right, Commanders again. 39-yard touchdown this time. See what we got. We got a toss this time. Oh, yeah, I remember doing this one. Actually, I think I done all these on Saquon's film, but obviously wasn't focusing on the line. Just good vision by Saquon, but we'll check out the two tackles. Let's see. All right, let's start with Jordan. And Jordan, I mean, with a big play, really. So he's a perimeter guy, or there's a perimeter play and he's backside. So, you know, they're not really designed for him to be in the mix, but he stays with his block. And the cutback happens, and this is why you gotta stay with your block. You don't know the cutback's gonna happen. Cutback happens, he creates a whole wave. I mean, others do too, but that's part of it. That's part of being an all-pro. All right, so let's look at the other side with Lane Johnson. To the play side, where you got 3 people, probably more. So you got a whole train coming out here. So really, you got combo. So these 2 are working. Plus, you got the linebacker. So stringing it out, making sure. Then he works his way to Bobby. So that's just good combo work. You gotta be able to have your eyes on the linebacker and see where he's going. If he cuts back in, Lane has to overtake the D tackle, and then Becton picks him up. If he strings it out, okay, I continue my help, and then I eventually pick up the linebacker, and that's what happens. Just good feet. Just good feet getting in the way, creating a lot of movement. All right, next up, 70-yard touchdowns against the Rams. We'll let it play out. Got a handoff. Ooh, 18. 18 with the kamikaze block. All right, we got both tackles on the field. Let's see what we get. We'll start with Jordan. We got tight ends on both sides. All right, split zone again. So Jordan steps down, next defender. Again, just trying his best to put his butt to the play. I like that. I like that extra effort. Like, he got him on the move, but hey, let me just put my arms out, play basketball, just get in his way. That D tackle wasn't doing nothing, but hey, that's just, you know, good effort. That's what you're supposed to do. All right, let's look at Lane, play side. So he should be stepping, yep, to the kick out. Now that's verse. Actually, that's not verse, that's young. I'm not gonna lie, I don't love that by Lane. I feel like he could have did better on that. Obviously, he does enough to do his job. He's good here. I would have liked him to work his hips around like I've seen him do earlier and seal this off. But he just kind of drives, blocks him, and then the guy's able to win back inside position. But by that time, it doesn't really matter. So it was excellent, wasn't perfect, but it was excellent still. But when you get to the inside zone, it's really a lot more on the interior, guys, to be honest. All right, Rams again. 13-yard touchdown this time. This time it's Gainwell. All right, let's see. We'll look at Jordan. What is this? I'm not sure what play this was supposed to be, but we'll just kind of go through what they did. All right, so Jordan, it must be not a trap. What am I thinking of? Anyway, they're kicking out the. Is it a trap? Yeah, they're kicking out the end with the puller, which is Lane. So Jordan doesn't have to worry about him. So he's stepped down, work between him and Dickerson next to the next level. Dickerson has this guy, so Jordan's on to the next level. And I mean, look, this is a case where the running back makes you right. I'm not sure how they draw it up, if they wanted it to hit here, but either way, doesn't matter. You make that contact, and this is not easy, bro. Especially younger tackles. There's so many linemen that get in space and fall off blocks. The balance here by Jordan, again, former rugby player, because a lot of them make contact and they stop or they fall. To make this contact, start driving, redirect, and continue without falling. Again, putting your butt to the play, even if that's not how it's drawn up. Put your butt to the play. That tells the running back that's where I can go. And then Gainwell makes them right. All right, so let's check out Lane, who is pulling to kick out on the edge, it looks like. And he had to do much there. I think Dickerson really got a 2-for-1. Or actually, they got caught in a stunt. That's what that is. You can see. So I'm not sure if that's Fisk or not or who it is. But he's working to the outside, and then Verse is going to work inside. And hey, everybody keeps talking about stunts. A lot of you don't know what the offense is running. Sometimes you run stunts into the wrong thing, and really it's a stunt in the backside blitz. But either way, so they end up getting knocked into each other. So when Lane gets there, he doesn't have to do much. All right, on to the next one. 72-yard Rams again. I don't think I watched this game, but obviously they went crazy on them. But we know in the playoffs it was a dogfight. Saquon was such a video game last year. And look, I just gotta say it's got nothing to do with this, but I just don't understand why people acting so why people want to argue about what happened. What happened is he went to the team with the best O-line. It's not that hard. What y'all thought was gonna happen? All right, so anyway, let's look at Jordan here. Looks like we got another counter, so Jordan is gonna have to block down to the next man. Now this is where it could get a little tricky because you see he's stunned inside, and so they got a game going on, but he stays with his man, collapse that down. That's pretty easy. That's nothing easy. That's nothing much that he has to do. All right, so let's see Lane, because they're pulling. Yeah, so they're pulling a guard and a tight end. So Lane has to step down as well, the opposite way. He has to reduce down to cut off the space that's going to be left by Becton. He's got help, does that pretty well. I mean, they got that guy. You see his eyes. He's ready to make sure if he got to help. I mean, they weren't the stars of that play, but they did their jobs. All right, 25-yard touchdown against the Ravens. Let's see. Yeah, I would say we got to be towards the end. So we're on the last two. We'll let this roll. Oh, my God. He had no chance at that tackle. All right, both players are on the field. Let's check out Jordan. He's got tight end to his side. So he skipped pulling. He's pulling on this. Whatever. I'm not even going to. We don't got to worry about what it is. All right. So Jordan here. He's pulling. He's got Roquan. Roquan does a good job of filling the space. Obviously, they want it to be, okay, a bad linebacker is going to stand here, give the space for Jordan to come just make it a two-way go, but Roquan forces the issue, gets up here quick. He's an all-pro as well. But Jordan does his job as best he can. I mean, his target's right there. He makes contact. And again, trying to at least give it a lane. Give it an angle a little bit. Roquan blew it up pretty well, but Jordan does just enough. Again, game of seconds and inches. Just enough to keep Roquan off that tackle. All right, let's check out Lane. He's got the kick out. Makes contact, turns his butt to the play, continues to run his feet, drive this guy out, creates that lane, no pun intended. It's good stuff. All right, 68 yards, our last one, Commanders, of course. I wonder if the Commanders do a stunt on this one. All right, this is Kenny Pickett for 68. I'm just kidding. Obviously not. All right, so we'll let it run through. All right, they run the counter again. Man. Saquon just took off on these boys. That's why it's hard to stay an elite running back, because once that speed falls off, and we know it falls off, it's hard to be a home run hitter. All right, so let's check out Jordan. He's on the play side. We know we got a counter, so more than likely he won't be on the edge. This is the in-man line of scrimmage, so he'll probably be dealing here, but we'll see. Yep, steps down. The D-line, I think they were stepping that way too, so it just helps him out. Able to turn him completely. I mean, he gets a little high at the end, but he's completely shielding off that play, butt to the play. That does his job all day. All right, let's check out Lane on the backside of the play. He's got a tight end with him as well. And he's going to step down, just kick out, play the backside. Not much he's got to do there. And that is it, people. That is Lane Johnson Jordan Mailata. I hope I'm saying his name somewhat right. The next episode will be coming up soon, so hope for you to see that. So go to the comment section, let me know what you think, share it around, get the convo started, and hope to see you next episode.